Hey everybody, I first wanted to introduce you to my shop. I once was working out of a 1,500 square foot shop and reduced that down to a small garage. I think it's probably by 16 by 10, so that's 160 square feet. Everything when it comes to tables is rolled as wheels on it, so I can roll it all over the place. And my main workbench right here that you see in front of me is what I make my kayaks, surfboards, and all that fun stuff off. Now what's neat about it is I can pretty much make any small stitch and glue or strip canoe or kayak on this. So anyways, I'm going to show you how to make a Kaholo stand-up paddle board, and I'm going to show you all the little tricks that I do that you typically don't see in the instruction book that helps the quality and the weight of the Kaholo. This will be an interesting one because we're also going to be putting a customized cloth on it for the customer, and that's the scoop. Okay, now the next step is I pull out the sides. And what we're going to do with the sides is we're going to match them up, and then we're going to get them ready to sand on the edges that are going to be stapled and glued together. Now what I do a little bit differently on it is typically on the inside edges they should be filed down. It says in the book at around a 30 degree angle. I do a 45, and the reason for that is when the staples are put in, what it does is it leaves a little gap which allows epoxy to get in there, and it hardens your edges. So you will see that technique once I get to it, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this all into a setup where how I mark things off, so that way it's efficient, fast, and we can get this thing glued up, at least the side panels and the gun walls today. So what I do is I put the bottom part that I'm going to bevel, and I put it at the edge of the table, and I use a Chinese or a Japanese rasp to do all the work. It's one of the, I would say, critical tools for doing any kind of kit. It's great for a lot of uses, which we'll go over as we build this Kaholo. And you see that I clamped it down, and I'm using gloves because what's going to happen is your fingers are going to rub against it, and you don't want to get splinters and all that other fun stuff. Okay, so you can see that this edge is beveled all the way down the plank, and that's what you want to do on all the edges that the other piece of wood is going to meet on. So I'm going to get all those done, and then we're going to get ready to glue these babies together. Okay, as you can see, I did the beveled edges, and now I'm putting the two boards together so I can glue them. Lightly sand just the edges of the finger joints. Don't get really wild into it. You want them to fit as tight as possible, so I'd rather you actually push down, not hard, but enough to make the finger joints connect. And if you notice here on the side, now we're ready to glue, so we're going to make two fiberglass pieces, and what we're going to want to make sure of is this, and I'm going to place them where they should be. And as you notice, on the side that has the beveled edge, I have the patch about a ½ inch up from it. The reason why is because when you're making the board and trying to put it together, you need a smooth area in that spot. So this will create that smooth area, but you'll still have the support that you need. So I'm going to do that to both of them. Now also, you probably noticed that on the bottom of this I have a piece of fiberglass, and the reason why is it's perfect for gluing pieces together because it won't stick to the bottom of it. Now you can also use a piece of board and put tape on and tape the board up, and it'll have the same effect. Okay, just a cost savings thing. I use these food handlers. They're much cheaper, and they have the same effect as those nitrate surgical gloves, which will cost you 5 times as much money after you're said and done. Then what I do is I just have a little setup here where I have a cup, and I put 3 squirts each of the hardener and the resin, and I just do about 40 stirs to 50 stirs to make sure it's totally done. And then I use just a cheap 2-inch brush, which I'll show you in a second, to fiberglass it. And let's get everything glued. So I add the epoxy to the fiberglass, and as you can see, there's some little spots of fiberglass showing up. Don't worry about that. Those can easily be sanded down. The main thing you want to make sure of is the main section that's filled with fiberglass. I also put clamps down on both sides to make sure everything stays in place and doesn't move. At the ends here, because when you're coating the inside, when the board's all put together, sometimes these are hard to reach, so I do them right now, so that way I don't have to worry about them and they get coated a couple of times. So I do it to both of the ends. Let's see, the sun's kind of in the way here, but you can see I can do it to both of the ends. Now we're going to put a fiberglass top on top of the this fiberglass piece right here, on top of the glued spot, and then clamp that down to make sure that everything is secure. So that's going to go on top of that right there. I'll show you how it's set up in a second. And that's the setup right there. You can see that I'm using clamps everywhere on top of the fiberglass. And why I like the fiberglass is I can actually see how the joint looks, because you want to make sure everything is kind of evenly pressed. And this joint looks like it's going to come out really nice. The next step is gluing the gun walls. And the gun walls will be for the next video. And we'll see also how this came out. And thank you for your time, and we're on our way.